On March 1, 2026, warfare changed forever, and almost nobody noticed. While the world was watching ballistic missiles arc across the Gulf sky, while B-2 bombers were dropping bunker busters, while diplomats shouted at each other at the UN, a Shait kamikaze drone manufactured in Russia from an Iranian design costing roughly $20,000 flew through the night air over the United Arab Emirates, and it hit a data center, not a radar station, not an airbase, not an oil refinery, a data center, and then another one, and then a third in Bahrain. 2 AWS facilities in the UAE were directly struck. A third in Bahrain was damaged by a nearby explosion. Power disrupted. Fire suppression systems triggered. 2 of the 3 availability zones in the AWS Middle East Central region were knocked completely offline. Banks went dark. Payment apps failed. The UAE's most popular delivery platform, Careem, crashed. Enterprise software platforms like Snowflake went down. AWS had to tell its global customer base, activate your disaster recovery plans. Get out of the Middle East, now. Today on the Deep Dive, we are looking at why this happened, why Iran deliberately targeted these buildings, and why this single moment has just abolished the sanctuary that the entire global internet relied on. 130 Chapter 1. The End of Sanctuary. Iran's state media didn't hide this. The IRGC's Fars news agency published a statement saying the Bahrain facility was deliberately targeted to identify, and I quote, the role of these centers in supporting the enemy's military and intelligence activities. Read that again. Deliberately targeted, not collateral damage, not a missed shot. Deliberately targeted because Iran knew what was running inside those servers. For the first time in history, a nation-state used kinetic military force physical drones to deliberately destroy commercial cloud computing infrastructure. This had never happened before. Data centers existed in a kind of sanctuary. They were viewed as neutral ground, the plumbing of the global economy that no side would touch. That sanctuary was permanently abolished on March 1, 2026, and it is not coming back. To 30 Chapter 2, the military inside the cloud. So, what was actually running in those data centers? Because the Iranian claimed that these centers supported American military ops. Not as outrageous as it sounds. Amazon Web Services holds contracts worth billions with the U.S. Department of Defense. AWS is a key vendor in the Pentagon's Joint Warfighting Cloud Capability Program, the JWCC. It's a $9 billion contract to provide cloud computing for U.S. military operations globally. According to multiple reports from the Washington Post and others, the Pentagon was running advanced AI models like Anthropic's Claude through AWS infrastructure during the Iran strikes themselves. These AI systems were analyzing satellite imagery and running battle simulations for the operation. It was running on commercial cloud infrastructure, on the same physical servers that also run your banking apps. The boundary between military cloud and civilian cloud does not exist the way most people assume. The Pentagon's most advanced targeting networks use the same physical buildings, the same power systems, as commercial services. When Iran hit that AWS data center, they weren't just hitting Amazon. They were potentially hitting the computational nervous system of the U.S. military's AI-driven targeting operation. 4 o'clock Chapter 3, the $3 trillion vulnerability. Now, let's look at the scale of what is at risk. According to JLL's 2026 Global Data Center Outlook, the world is in a data center investment supercycle. By 2030, roughly $3 trillion will have been invested in new data centers and GPU infrastructure. The 6 largest U.S. hyperscalers, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, are on track for $500 billion in spending just in 2026. The Gulf region was supposed to be the next great hub for this infrastructure, but every single one of those facilities is protected by what one researcher called 20th century perimeter security. High fences, barbed wire, security cameras. These measures are designed to stop a person from walking through a door. They provide no meaningful protection against a drone. A Shait drone flies over the fence. It detonates on a rooftop cooling unit, or a diesel generator, or a gas turbine. That's the exposed peripheral infrastructure every data center needs to survive, and you don't even need a direct hit. The Uptime Institute, the authority on data center reliability, confirmed this was the first military attack on a hyperscale cloud provider. They noted that the AWS redundancy model designed to survive a single failure was not built for a coordinated attack on multiple sites at once. The cost of this lesson, to Shait drones, roughly $40,000 total. against infrastructure that took billions to build. 530, Chapter 4. The undersea danger, but the physical vulnerability does unstop at the data center walls. We have to talk about the cables. 17 submarine cables pass through the Red Sea. These carry 25% of the world's data traffic. Globally, 99% of international data travels through cables like these. Both the Red Sea and the Strait of Hormuz are now active conflict zones. And here is the terrifying part. The specialized repair ships that fix severed cables cannot operate in an active war zone. If a cable is cut right now in either location, it stays cut until the war ends. In September 2025, cables in the Red Sea were accidentally damaged by a ship's anchor. It wasn't even an attack, and it caused latency spikes for Microsoft, Azure, and disrupted 25% of traffic across West Asia. Now imagine a deliberate attack with no repair ships available. Iran hasn't targeted the cables yet. The key phrase is, yet. They have demonstrated they understand exactly where the vulnerabilities are. 645, Chapter 5. A new blueprint for war for the last 30 years. We thought of cyber warfare and physical warfare as different domains. One was for keyboards and code, the other was for bombs and missiles. Iran just collapsed that distinction permanently. The data center hosting your banking app is the same data center hosting the Pentagon's targeting algorithm. The cooling system keeping your AI workload running is the same one keeping the military's AI running. They are co-located by design, by the logic of cloud economics that said, build it here, everyone shares it, everyone saves money. Eric Schmidt, the former CEO of Google, warned about this a year ago. He said the democratization of drone technology would create targeting opportunities that no one in tech had prepared for. This week, his warning became ground truth. The insurance industry is going to react. Allianz's risk barometer for 2026 already listed war as the top concern. Premiums for data center war risk are about to go vertical. Companies are going to be forced to diversify their data geographically. The idea of a single region for cloud computing might become a relic of the past. 745 Conclusion. The world after March 1st, Iran changed warfare this week. Not with the biggest explosion, but with the choice of target. The data center, the most important, most overlooked, and most underdefended target in the modern world. The playbook is now written. Every adversary of every country that runs its military and its economy on commercial cloud infrastructure now has the template. And the template says, you don't need to defeat the military. You just need to hit the building where the world's brain is running. And that building has a chain link fence. If this gave you the picture that nobody else is drawing, share this video. This matters for everyone who uses a phone, a bank, or the internet. I'm Rana Asif. Thanks for watching the deep dive. See you in the next one.